Introducing Shop, Click, and Pick, the simplest way to support those doing good in communities everywhere. We understand that shopping is a necessity, but with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference without spending any extra money. Here's how it works. Please visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Discover our verified giving partners, which are trusted allies ready to meet your needs. Shop with any of the partners that resonate with you. Click a picture of the receipt or invoice, then pick the mission partner you wish to support and use their QR code to send the receipt directly to us. After that, all you have to do is sit back and enjoy your purchases, knowing that you've made a meaningful change for someone in need. Community Pay It Forward amplifies your business's impact by sharing the story of those who require your services, rallying support for those who need us all. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together.
Born into a real fight wasn't right. Where can she dream here? Took a hold of her life, left at night, stepping out of her fear.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels, and we are finally, I say this tentatively maybe. How's that? We are finally back on a somewhat normal schedule. How is that for not very decisive at all? But we do have our great friend Les Simpson, who is going to be joining us again here in a little bit. We are actually going to show a video that really explains. J.W. Wilson walks us through the first program that you get when you join Les's organization, when you join them, and you can really see how you can learn your own limits to your brain. Okay, learn how you think. And I know how that sounds, and I know people are sitting there going, well, what the hell? I know how I think. Do you? Seriously, this is something that when JW and was on with us towards the end of last year, he said something to me that I knew, but I never thought of it until he really said it. That, like, when you're learning in school, you're learning for that test. You're not learning to learn. You're learning for that surprise exam that's coming up. You're learning to pass a grade. You're not learning to learn. You're learning to, satisfy an immediate need. What they are doing is they're doing something fantastic, and they're teaching you how to, one, learn where it matters and where it sticks, and two, how to talk to other people and teach them, talk to them in a way where they understand what you're saying, where it sticks with them. The emotional, the everything about it it's really amazing, and it's really, really cool. And so before we bring Les on, we are going to be playing the intro to Cracking the Sales Code video. But we're going to get to that in just a minute. We have something coming up tomorrow, and everyone is invited. If you're watching, you're more than welcome to come. Whether you run a small business, whether you run a nonprofit, whether you are looking to better your life with a better job, or maybe you're hiring someone, or you're looking for an intern, or you're looking for people to come in and make a difference for you and your company. And I'm sorry about the dog in the background. He's trying to be a tough guy, because he's trying to be a tough guy. But no matter what you do in business world, we invite you to come and join us tomorrow for the family networking. Okay. And so pull out your cameras here real quick, because there's going to be a QR code on this video. If you scan this QR code, you can fill out the information, send it to us so we can have that information. And we do the information for a reason, because I don't know if you've ever been networking. You've got that little chat box, and they want you to be very concise and very short on what you put in there. I'm giving you a chance to basically write us a book if you want. Tell us about your business. Tell people about who you are. Tell people about your business. Tell them what you are looking to do. So, and this sheet is available to everyone that has ever networked with us, and the people who are going to network with us from now on. So even if you've only been there once, or this is your first time there, this is a chance for people to really get to know you. One of the other things that we're doing, and we're starting this tomorrow, when you come on, if you donate $5, you can tell us, hey, this is an organization that I support. And what we're going to do is we are going to put that organization on a wheel. Every time somebody donates $5, their organization is going to go on a wheel. So if you donate $25, you can give us 5 organizations, or we'll put that one organization on there 5 times. Community Dare to Care. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, so no, maybe not. But still, you can put that on there 5 times. And then at the end of the event, we're going to take them, we're going to spin it. And wherever it lands, this is not the tough dog. This is the other one. But wherever it lands, they are going to get the entirety of the pot. So if we raise $100, an organization that one of us cares about is going to get a donation of $100 just for coming and networking with us. So, but it is called Family Networking, and we invite you to come and join us. It's a place to get your story told and not be sold. You can always go on to communitypayitforward.us, and you can find all the information about that. Just come and join us. It's going to happen tomorrow at 6 o'clock East, 4 o'clock here in the mountain. So come on and join us. Usually they last about an hour. I schedule for about an hour and a half. If it lasts an hour and a half, it lasts an hour and a half. If it lasts an hour, it lasts an hour. Okay. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we are getting your story out there, because here at Community IMpACT, here on the pACT channel, we want to make sure we never shut up. We tell your story, because your story is going to matter to someone. Your story, there's something in your story that is going to make a difference for someone who needs that story. So we are now going to take a look at cracking the sales code introduction before we bring on Les. Please, I'm telling you, take a look at this. There is a lot of information in here. And it's also really neat how you do this. When you join the program, you get 1 or 2 of these a week. So where it's a lot of information, it's a lot of the same information. It's not like they're trying to shove a whole bunch of stuff at you and go, now remember that. No, it's not. It's a lot of information, but it's a lot of the same information. It's easily digestible, it's easy to think about, and it's easy to take in. So this is the introduction to cracking the sales code right here on Community Impact. When we get done with this video, we'll be back with my good buddy Les Simpson.
Hi there, J.W. Wilson here, founder and executive director at the Learning Code Institute. And I want to welcome you to your very first Cracking the Sales Code module. And before we dive in, there are a few quick tips that we want to share with you that will help you get the most sales results possible out of this program. First of all, this course will likely look completely different from any course you have ever taken before. Most of our participants, like you, are shocked when they learn about the structure of our disruptive courses and how they work. Beginning today, you will only receive 1 to 2 of these Cracking the Sales Code episodes, which we call learning adventures. You only get 1 or 2 of these per week, and we will deliver them to you one at a time. Now, you may be wondering why we are delivering information to you in such a different manner than you're used to on the web. Well, here's the reason why. In order for your brain to retain any new information, it needs to go through all 4 stages of the cycle of transformation. And these are information, action, feedback, and incubation. For now, do not concern yourself with all those details, because we will explain exactly how this cycle works in much greater depth in your upcoming learning adventures. The important piece for you to realize is that traditional courses that are not based on neuroscience deliver so much information to your brain so quickly that they leave your brain physically unable to absorb the content delivered. What's it feel like? It feels like drinking water from a fire hose. And this is exactly why 90% of the people who sign up for traditional online courses never, ever complete them. Worst of all, this outdated teaching style, which we've been using since the time of Aristotle, causes most of us to only retain 3 to 5% of what we try to learn. So, by only providing you with a small amount of relevant information at a time in our shorter 3 to 10 minute long learning adventures, we allow your brain the time it biologically needs to commit your new learning to memory so you can use it, not only to elevate your sales process, but to improve your life and the lives of others. Better yet, perhaps the most disruptive feature of our new courses, these learning adventures, is that we include real-world actions for you to take, which we call access triggers. Access triggers are hands-on activities you will complete in the real world so your brain gets the feedback it needs to ensure that your new learning is locked into your brain structures to stay, so you can finally get the results in your personal and professional life that you have always been dreaming of. Thank you for choosing to unlock the neuroscience of sales with us. And without further ado, let's get on with your very first Cracking the Sales Code adventure right now. Hi, J.W. Wilson here, founder and executive director of the Learning Code Institute, where we are considered the world leader in understanding the neuroscientific basis of how we learn, change our behaviors, and motivate ourselves and others. We are delighted that you have chosen to join us for Cracking the Sales Code, how to use neuroscience to position your brand as #1 in its field. Whether you're in big ticket sales, you do door-to-door sales, operate from a call center, or whatever you sell, whether it be real estate, cars, financial services, stocks, pharmaceuticals, insurance, consumer goods, whatever. Whatever your niche is, The material you are about to receive will not only break your thinking machine about the fastest ways to achieve exceptional sales, it will give you a whole new paradigm as to how to amass a tribe of followers who want more of you and more of what you are selling. And we at the Learning Code Institute personally guarantee that each of you are going to enjoy and reap huge benefits from these groundbreaking adventures in sales. Some of you are familiar with us, but for those who aren't, allow me to provide you a little background on how cracking the sales code came about. Over the last 30 years, our passion at the Learning Code Institute has been, as we mentioned earlier, to dive deeper into the latest neuroscience discoveries on how we actually learn and change our behaviors. Specifically, the powerful role your biology plays in activating the brain structures and even the genes that dramatically accelerate your customers' learning and buying process. If we would have realized the depth and complexity of this subject 3 decades ago, I honestly don't know if we would have embarked on this journey of discovery. But thank goodness we did. We're so glad we're here with you. This journey into how our brains and biology actually learn is an entire universe unto itself, drenched in complexity, more than we could have imagined. And yet, step by step, hour after hour, year after year, and thousands of scientific papers and books on neuroscience, genetics, quantum theory, epigenetics, biology, chaos theory, all that research later that we dove into, we arrived at a breakthrough in understanding the scientific basis of how to dramatically accelerate the speed and depth of learning, motivation, and behavior change. After publishing our best-selling book, Cracking the Learning Code, the science that is transforming how the world learns, motivates, and changes behaviors, numerous thought leaders and business executives and educators have called it the greatest learning discovery of the 21st century. Just as importantly as the science behind the Learning Code is what we did next. We began to develop practical, easy-to-understand applications to use this powerful scientific-based learning technology for specific interest groups like teachers, homeschool parents, addiction counselors, finance managers, and yes, people like you, sales professionals, which leads us to today. You are about to enter the rare air of knowledge about the most disruptive and effective sales tool and strategy ever created. Now, before I go further, I want to acknowledge that if you're an advanced skilled salesperson right now, it is likely that you will recognize that you're already using a lot of these strategies today. Certainly, the last 75 years of trial and error by thousands and thousands of salespeople have produced practices that do indeed produce results. We're not saying that they don't work, but ask yourself, how much work and how many mistakes were made to discover these few gems that really work for you right now? Imagine having at your fingertips a deep understanding of how your customers are thinking at any given situation at any moment, and then provide them with exactly what they need based on the latest neuroscientific understanding of what is happening in their brain. It changes everything. I'd also like to mention that our team includes multiple contributors who have strong sales backgrounds. They are highly experienced and have been very successful in sales, sales management, and in numerous industries that range from Fortune 100 to small businesses. In their careers, they have designed courses, written articles, and trained others in ways that have been very helpful into creating what we believe to be the finest sales course in the world. There have been volumes of books and courses on sales, many of them providing really valuable insights into how to increase productivity and sales rates. We believe cracking the sales code stands alone, delivering disruptive information that has never been available to salespeople before. It's about understanding how the brain works and responds to your messaging. And for the first time, replaces trial and error with scientific-based strategies to effectively accomplish these goals, making more sales and creating more exceptional customer satisfaction. So again, I want to welcome you to cracking the sales code. And in your next learning adventure, we're going to provide a more in-depth overview of the structure of this course and the ways it has been designed to produce better results than any course you have ever taken. So we'll see you shortly for an overview of this exciting adventure in sales. As you will see in these learning modules, which we call learning adventures, there is not a lot of the traditional kinds of homework you experienced in other academic and online courses. As you're going to learn in future learning adventures, we use what we call the cycle of transformation, which is specifically designed to activate specific brain structures and neurochemical systems that create the kind of learning in you that sticks. More on the cycle of transformation and how you can use it to accomplish and accelerate the mental, physical, and monetary return to you in the future. These learning code courses, really adventures, are not like drinking out of the fire hose of memorization and tests. They are designed to have your brain naturally and effortlessly encode the learning you need to succeed in life. So today, the only thing we would like you to do is sit in an easy chair or take a walk. Take a few minutes and ask yourself this question. Is what I have been doing in my sales efforts giving me the results that I demand? And then take a few minutes to reflect on it. But here's the important part. Don't BS yourself so you look good. Just ask yourself that question. This is really all you got to do today. Ask yourself this question, reflect on it, and we will revisit it in future learning adventures and discuss it more. I'm so looking forward to seeing you in the next learning adventure where we will peel the onion even more so you can apply the latest learning and marketing science to your brands and sales efforts right now.
We are now being joined by Mr. Les Simpson. Les, how are you doing? Uh-oh.
There we go.
There we go. All right, we got this figured out, this technology stuff.
I don't know about that, but we'll try.
Yeah, we're definitely going to try. So how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. So we had John ask us, will JW be joining us again anytime soon? And the answer to that, quite simply, is we're hoping next week. We're hoping to have him join us next Saturday on our 22-hour podcast. So, but if you have any further questions, please either put it in the chat or you can send me a text, as many of you have been doing. Going ahead and do that, and we'll get them answered. But Les, this is so unique because this is just a different way to look at learning and understand what it takes for people to learn, right?
Correct. One of the things I've been asked on some calls I've been on is this book, is it the standard book that somebody puts out there and we need to change that email? It's Course-Centrica instead of the new one. The CSC course.
Oh, okay.
And but one of the things that people don't understand is the book itself has 40 years of study and acquisition and proof before the book was written. In fact, to let you know the history of it, JW studied criminal science in college. And in fact, he was going to go into prisons and help people become crooks. And but he studied all the different things he talks about there on the quantum physics. But just to let you know how much this works, it was, he's built personally 23 different very successful businesses, market leaders. And then of course, in fact, we probably couldn't see it because it'd be so small. But if you go to thelearningcode.com/testimonials, you'll find that JW has consulted for the United Nations, NASA. We actually taught the Mayo Clinic doctors how to connect with their patients. And on the testimonial page, you'll find that works with universities, works with schools, charter schools, regular schools, the top coaches in the world, including Kiyosaki and Robbins. And all of this, he's been consulting for the last 20 years. And now, all of this, he's been asked for years, 2 or 3 years, to put this together of a course. And the reason for it, if you are in a sales job out there, if you aren't your compatriots, 80% of them are not meeting the quotas. And they're barely living. 80% of businesses are barely making it. Folks, those people need help. And that's what this course is for. In fact, one of the reasons that we have it at $20 a month is because, whether you know it or not, 66% of the households in the U.S. Couldn't come up with $400 emergency fund if they had to.
Yeah.
And so everybody can afford, hopefully, $20 a month, and it will increase their ability to do their job. And plus the fact that you will be changing. In fact, when that was recorded before, I had only been taken one of the episodes. Now I'm on number 5. And my wife is a psychotherapist and a clinical nutritionist. And we have now done number 5. And she says, it can't be this easy. Because she's seen changes. In those 5 times, I've become much more sensitive to people. I can listen to people better and really care about what they say. I'm going to give you an example. She has these chimes that hang on the porch, and when it gets windy at night, they chime. And I have to get up in the middle of the night and get them down before the dogs start barking. And I asked her if we could take them and get rid of them. And she told me they were a Christmas present from one of her friends. And so I had no problem now getting up in the middle of the night and take them down, because it really meant something to her.
Right.
But folks, 6 months ago, or even less than that, I would have argued with her and told her, get up and get them down, because I don't want to get up. But I've become much more sensitive just by going through this course. And that's what blows my mind. When we say that you're going to become a trusted advisor because you're really going to care about your clients, until you experience this, you just don't know what he's talking about. It's going in the head. But until you experience it, and that's what's so phenomenal about it. And on our testimonials page, you'll find a school that is high risk, low income. And after working with the students, they've dropped drugs. They're working with the school now instead of fighting it all the time, because we have not been taught how to take care of our brain. And if you take care of our brain, it actually produces the drugs you're paying for to put in your body. Think about that.
Well, I know that I know dealing with the brain is a whole different animal, and I know that just because of the brain injury. You know,
Yeah.
having the brain injury itself, there's something that is it's a lot different, you know, having a brain injury than just having like a splinter. You know, a splinter you know how to take care of to make sure it doesn't get infected and all this other stuff. But the brain injury, it's going to be a little bit different. Les, one of the other things that it drives me crazy on every other sales uh, sales program out there. It basically tells you that you know, every other sales program tells you that there's four different groups of people. You can sell to this one without a problem. You know, you're going to be able to sell to yours, and you're going to be able to sell to the ones that are right across from you. The ones that are right up above you, you might have to do a little more, you know, thought provoking and talking and conversing with them, but they're gettable. But then there's this other corner that's just out of your reach. Don't even worry about bothering with those people. This is telling you, no, that's wrong. This is telling you, you know what? You can learn how to reach everyone, right?
There is a fringe of people that never will change.
Yeah.
So
Well,
there is those people, but all the rest. See, when this course, what it does is it gets you in touch with your own emotions. And when you're in touch with your own emotions and see how precious they are and how much they actually help your body, unlike we've been told so many times, you know, stuff the emotions, they keep you from goals and keep going. Um, this will show you what you were designed with. And when you can appreciate and trust your emotions, then you can ask the questions of your clients that get into their emotions, and they can feel that it isn't manipulation. You really feel you want to do something good for that client. And so you're able to break through a lot of this psychology stuff that you have to, you know, only contact certain people because people are people.
yeah.
Um, but there always are some on the fringes that don't want to change. And those, unfortunately, it's not their time. It might be time 10 years down the way when they've, you know, run into enough walls, broken their nose enough, and say, well, maybe it's time to listen. But yes, for the most part, you were able to ask questions to get into the meaning network. And two things I want really explain here. The two things that this is really going to do with the meaning network, and the meaning network controls us. First off, we're going to help you not put stuff in your meaning network that doesn't belong there. And two things your meaning network hates is heavy study and tests. In fact, I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered why your neck and shoulders get tight when you're studying hard?
Uh, I always just I always just put it to I'm not comfortable.
Exactly. Your brain is telling you you're pushing too hard. And all that stuff that goes in is not going to stay there. Now, it will allow it to stay there. And that's one of the things when you're studying, and this is the difference. If it's you're studying for something that isn't for you, it's for the school, uh, and to make the teacher happy, then the brain will allow you to retain it long enough to take the test, then it gets rid of it. And that's what JW was talking about.
Yeah.
Is have you ever wondered why you can only remember 3 to 5% of the 12 to 18 years of education you put yourself through?
Well, and again, it's just it makes sense because you're sitting there and your whole goal on learning something when you're in school is to pass that test, you know.
Exactly.
And as soon as that test is gone, you don't care if you remember it or not.
Right.
It's,
Yep.
you know, it's gone. Hey, Les, we got a question here. What was the one thing when you first started seeing this program? What was the one thing that really attracted you to it?
Personally, or what I could do with
Yeah,
it.
personally.
I didn't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I've listened to JW. This course just came out 3 weeks ago. And so I've been reading his book, which, by the way, if you go to Amazon, you can download it, Cracking the Learning Code by J.W. Wilson, and it'll cost you $6 on Kindle.
Right.
And so I've read that, and that's tough. I mean, that's 750 pages. And I've asked him questions through it and so forth. But when this course came out, as I told him, once I started taking it, I don't have to use your words anymore. I have my own of how this is helping me. Because until then, it was just seeing all the testimonials, seeing all the different things, and trusting him that this stuff worked. And so for myself, I had no concept because I didn't know what it would do, to answer that question.
And what let me go on ahead and ask you this to expound on that a little bit.
Sure.
What's the one thing that you found yourself using every day that you learned?
Our brain was designed to help us through life. Our brain was designed to help us have joy and enthusiasm through life. And if you use your brain right, that's what I was saying earlier. The brain will produce the drugs that you're paying to put in your body.
You know, you hear it all the time how, as a human species, we use so little of what's available for us when it comes to brain. There, our brain is a mechanism that we don't, we don't we don't use it all. We don't know what we're capable of. And that's the reason why a lot of times, something goes on and we're so amazed when the brain does something that just, you know, that no, there's no way that mom lifted the car off the baby. That's not muscular. That's your brain telling your body, yeah, you can do this. That's your brain that's doing this. So there are so many things that you can learn, and you just have to learn it the right way. So,
Exactly. And that's one of the things. Let me give you a big hint. Now that you're out of school, if there's something you're really trying to learn, forget the school's way of studying, putting everything in your brain, and just keep pumping it in. In fact, the next time you're reading something and you get the feeling, I've got enough, don't push further. Give yourself 3 or 4 hours, or if you can, overnight, because then your brain will absorb it. If you keep pushing, it'll just push it out again. It's overloaded. But those emotions are there, and that's one thing I've been looking for, is you can't overload your brain, and it will teach you everything you need. And one of the things I've noticed, and this is why this is so important, one video a week,
yeah,
and then go out and use it. And one of the things I was telling my wife is, I don't know if you want to call it the universe, God, whatever you want. But when you're learning something, the whole universe or God will support you. And all the way through the week, different things will come in to add to what you're learning on how to work with your brain. That's why we do not suggest. Now, once you've watched it, if you want to go back and watch it again, that's fine. but we will not release another one for a week because you really need to exercise your brain and listen and start looking for things different that's going to happen in your life. I mean, you might notice the beautiful beauty of a flower that you didn't see before because the brain was designed to connect to nature. And so it's just a completely different experience. But the biggest thing is you're learning to work with your own emotions. And people have been afraid of their emotions all their life because of they feel trauma, they don't know what to do with it. Well, your brain does. Our intellect doesn't. And so we've been told to stuff everything, unless of course you're in trauma and need help. In fact, one of the things we talked to a lady today who is a grant writer, and she has many nonprofits. Well, one thing to let everybody know, and by the way, we are looking for resellers of this. For instance, if you're a grant writer and you have nonprofits, um, the if this supports the mission of the nonprofit, let's say it's for underprivileged kids, then the nonprofit can actually sell this to the families, the schools, and so forth, and they don't get any trouble with the IRS because it supports the mission. Now, if it's to save fish from being exterminated, that won't work. But if it's PTSD, if it's low income, if your nonprofit supports this mission of what we can do with the brain, less depression, the stress, um, PTSD, and so forth, then you can actually provide this as a fundraiser because you can have it too. And for our resellers, what we do there is two things. If you have your own database of companies, then we charge you $100 a month for a hosting fee, and we pay you 50% of the 20, so $10 for every single employee you sign up. And now that's if you have your own group. And it is a group, by the way. This is not just a course. You get to join a group that's going to be talking about what they're learning from it. And the other thing is if you connect us to companies with sales forces, like real estate agencies, insurance agencies, network marketing. I talked to a network marketing company last night. I had no idea. Network marketing sales are way down, including Amway. I had no concept of it. And so they're looking at the possibility because we can easily help that person become a trusted advisor. And we're looking at easily 10% more in sales. And so if a company has, many thousands of reps, can you imagine what that's going to do for the company? So we are looking for resellers.
Yeah, well, and if you're interested, and again, this is something that you know what you can do in your spare time. Hell, you can do this as you're trying to better your sales team, and more importantly, better yourself. So, that's always a good thing is trying to improve yourself, right, Les?
That's definite. And that's one of the things we really say, if you're going to be a reseller, take the course.
Yeah.
Because until you understand yourself, then you're not going to understand others' emotions anyway.
Yeah, I was scheduled to become a member of the course this week, and that was until my our car decided that it didn't want to run anymore, and I was 400 miles away from home. So kind of made things go a little kerfuffle there. But hey, Les, you guys are going to be joining me. Like I said, you will be joining me for the fourth straight year now for the mission for Healthy Heroes. You are a veteran. What tell me in your mind? what is something that our hero community can take from this course and really run with?
Well, on our testimonials page, you'll see we work with wounded warriors, and we have testimonials of helping them with PTSD. Once the brain is helped, and I'm going to see, I've sent a text to him, I'm going to see if JW will, on the 22nd, explain the PTSD and how we can help with it. And the other thing, on YouTube, he has a deal, but I'm also going to ask him to explain, and we might just do the YouTube and play it. But addiction, how this gets people out of addiction, and which is going to be huge because a lot of veterans, unfortunately, are on addiction because they cannot handle their feelings. Um, I mean, I've studied a technique called emotional freedom technique, and it shows so much how people, once they're in trauma, uh, don't want to remember it, but it goes in them and controls them. And so that's one of the things. He was also talking to this lady. She works with seniors, and he's going to, because we can't eliminate it by a long ways, and we can't say medically we can, but he said there's even things that can be done for dementia.
Right. Um, well, I I am really looking forward to this conversation. I really do see this as look, this again, one of the things that we always talk about, that we've talked about for the first, 3 years on this is very simple. That when a young person leaves home and they join the service, they're not developed yet. So
No,
maybe this is a way to take and help them develop that adult brain. Because, look, let's be honest, some of us didn't develop our adult brain until our mid to late 40s, and that's if we've done that yet. So,
right.
to be honest with you, but I mean, so it's not something that is. We all think that we're. I mean, just look at it. I didn't think I needed to learn anything more when I was 16 years old. I had everything figured out. I wish now I knew half of what I knew when I was 16, because I'd be the smartest person on earth without knowing a damn thing. But, but I'm really looking forward to how we can take and talk to the veteran, group with this program and really make a difference there. So, Les, how do people get a hold of you?
um, well, first off, I suggest everybody go to the course and watch that 11-minute video. You can join for 7 days free and watch the second one. But again, do the living adventures first. And then for $20, again, you're going to get a complete life change. But as far as getting a hold of me, my cell phone, as you can see, is 303-579-6881. And my new email under JW is Les at CSC Course. That's crackingthesalescourse.com. And if you text me and would like to talk to about being a reseller, then I will send you a link to my calendar, and we can definitely talk about that. But again, we're looking for people that really want to help, and that's one of the things JW will tell you. And this is one thing you learn in your brain. Um, Money is not the answer, folks. It just buys things. What you're wanting is what those things buy, and you can get the emotions without the having to go through all the hell of getting the physical. This is a completely different way of thinking. That our brain was designed to support us. Period.
And
without, and of course, enthusiasm and going after things is part of life. But when it's no longer the part of the adventure, you've got to have a mission. And that's one of the things that we found. If a person really has a mission to help others and change society, then your brain will go right along with it.
well, Les, I greatly appreciate. Oh, somebody just asked a question. Are all of the videos like around the same length, the 10
Yes,
to 15
3 to 10
minutes? So,
minutes.
and that's a great point, folks. You're not watching a 4 hour video. Okay. This isn't something that you're going to have to dedicate a portion of your, like a whole portion of your day to. So, thank you. Thank you, Tim, for your question there. Um, but Les, I want to thank you so very much for joining us today. I look forward to talking to you in just about a week and a half, my friend. God, I cannot believe that it's here again already, that 22-hour thing. You know, I'd like to find the person whose bright idea that was and have a talk with him because oh wait, that was me. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if I actually want to talk to me sometimes. So but I think what we're going to do now, folks, when we get back, we are going to have a very interesting. I did a little bit of study today, and actually, it's been over the last couple days. We're going to be talking about a couple things, a couple treatment outlets that are out there that are some controversy in them. And then there's one that I had never heard of before. And Les and I we were talking about this before we went live, and I'm really intrigued on getting to learn this. We're going to learn a little bit more about what people are saying about psychedelic assisted therapy, uh, ketamine assisted psychotherapy, uh, and virtual reality exposure therapy. I am really, really intrigued by this one because of just some of the stuff that I've seen. But you know what? I enjoy sharing that video with you guys. And I think one more time, Les, I'm going to walk you out with replaying Cracking the Sales Code introduction because I do think that there is so much information on here that people need to see. But Les, I will talk to you in about a week and a half, my friend.
Yeah.
Until then, thank you so very much. Thank you for being a part of our program. And to you and your lovely wife, happy Valentine's Day. I hope
Thank
you
you.
guys go out and have a lot of fun. Uh, we're going to go to a hockey game.
I got you.
So, and hockey game for me and Mexican food for her. So, there's we're gonna have some fun there.
Good.
But and let's do this again in a month. How does that sound, Les?
Sounds good.
All right. So once again, here is the introduction to Cracking the Sales Code. Again, thank you, Les.
You bet. Have a good day.
You too.
to your brain so quickly that they leave your brain physically unable to absorb the content delivered. What's it feel like? It feels like drinking water from a fire hose. And this is exactly why 90% of the people who sign up for traditional online courses never, ever complete them. Worst of all, this outdated teaching style, which we've been using since the time of Aristotle, causes most of us to only retain 3 to 5% of what we try to learn. So, by only providing you with a small amount of relevant information at a time in our shorter 3 to 10 minute long learning adventures, we allow your brain the time it biologically needs to commit your new learning to memory so you can use it, not only to elevate your sales process, but to improve your life and the lives of others. Better yet, perhaps the most disruptive feature of our new courses, these learning adventures, is that we include real-world actions for you to take, which we call access triggers. Access triggers are hands-on activities you will complete in the real world so your brain gets the feedback it needs to ensure that your new learning is locked into your brain structures to stay, so you can finally get the results in your personal and professional life that you have always been dreaming of. Thank you for choosing to unlock the neuroscience of sales with us. And without further ado, let's get on with your very first Cracking the Sales Code adventure right now. Hi, J.W. Wilson here, founder and executive director of the Learning Code Institute, where we are considered the world leader in understanding the neuroscientific basis of how we learn, change our behaviors, and motivate ourselves and others. We are delighted that you have chosen to join us for Cracking the Sales Code, how to use neuroscience to position your brand as number one in its field. Whether you're in big ticket sales, you do door-to-door sales, operate from a call center, or whatever you sell, whether it be real estate, cars, financial services, stocks, pharmaceuticals, insurance, consumer goods, whatever. Whatever your niche is, the material you are about to receive will not only break your thinking machine about the fastest ways to achieve exceptional sales, it will give you a whole new paradigm as to how to amass a tribe of followers who want more of you and more of what you are selling. And we at the Learning Code Institute personally guarantee that each of you are going to enjoy and reap huge benefits from these groundbreaking adventures in sales. Some of you are familiar with us, but for those who aren't, allow me to provide you a little background on how Cracking the Sales Code came about. Over the last 30 years, our passion at the Learning Code Institute has been, as we mentioned earlier, to dive deeper into the latest neuroscience discoveries on how we actually learn and change our behaviors. Specifically, the powerful role your biology plays in activating the brain structures and even the genes that dramatically accelerate your customers' learning and buying process. If we would have realized the complexity of this subject 3 decades ago, I honestly don't know if we would have embarked on this journey of discovery. But thank goodness we did. We're so glad we're here with you. This journey into how our brains and biology actually learn is an entire universe unto itself, drenched in complexity, more than we could have imagined. And yet, step by step, hour after hour, year after year, and thousands of scientific papers and books on neuroscience, genetics, quantum theory, epigenetics, biology, chaos theory, all that research later that we dove into, we arrived at a breakthrough in understanding the scientific basis of how to dramatically accelerate the speed and depth of learning, motivation, and behavior change. After publishing our best-selling book, Cracking the Learning Code, the science that is transforming how the world learns, motivates, and changes behaviors, numerous thought leaders and business executives and educators have called it the greatest learning discovery of the 21st century. Just as importantly as the science behind the Learning Code is what we did next. we began to develop practical, easy to understand applications to use this powerful scientific-based learning technology for specific interest groups like teachers, homeschool parents, addiction counselors, finance managers, and yes, people like you, sales professionals, which leads us to today. You are about to enter the rare air of knowledge about the most disruptive and effective sales tool and strategy ever created. Now, before I go further, I want to acknowledge that if you're an advanced skilled salesperson right now, it is likely that you will recognize that you're already using a lot of these strategies today. Certainly, the last 75 years of trial and error by thousands and thousands of salespeople have produced practices that do indeed produce results. We're not saying that they don't work, but ask yourself, how much work and how many mistakes were made to discover these few gems that really work for you right now? Imagine having at your fingertips a deep understanding of how your customers are thinking at any given situation at any moment, and then provide them with exactly what they need based on the latest neuroscientific understanding of what is happening in their brain. It changes everything. I'd also like to mention that our team includes multiple contributors who have strong sales backgrounds. They are highly experienced and have been very successful in sales, sales management, and in numerous industries that range from Fortune 100 to small businesses. In their careers, they have designed courses, written articles, and trained others in ways that have been very helpful into creating what we believe to be the finest sales course in the world. There have been volumes of books and courses on sales, many of them providing really valuable insights into how to increase productivity and sales rates. We believe cracking the sales code stands alone, delivering disruptive information that has never been available to salespeople before. It's about understanding how the brain works and responds to your messaging. And for the first time, replaces trial and error with scientific-based strategies to effectively accomplish these goals, making more sales and creating more exceptional customer satisfaction. So again, I want to welcome you to Cracking the Sales Code. And in your next learning adventure, we're going to provide a more in-depth overview of the structure of this course and the ways it has been designed to produce better results than any course you have ever taken. So we'll see you shortly for an overview of this exciting adventure in sales. As you will see in these learning modules, which we call learning adventures, there is not a lot of the traditional kinds of homework you experienced in other academic and online courses. As you're going to learn in future learning adventures, we use what we call the cycle of transformation, which is specifically designed to activate specific brain structures and neurochemical systems that create the kind of learning in you that sticks. More on the cycle of transformation and how you can use it to accomplish and accelerate the mental, physical, and monetary return to you in the future. These learning code courses, really adventures, are not like drinking out of the fire hose of memorization and tests. They are designed to have your brain naturally and effortlessly encode the learning you need to succeed in life. So today, the only thing we would like you to do is sit in an easy chair or take a walk. Take a few minutes and ask yourself this question. Is what I have been doing in my sales efforts giving me the results that I demand? And then take a few minutes to reflect on it. But here's the important part. Don't BS yourself so you look good. Just ask yourself that question. This is really all you got to do today. Ask yourself this question, reflect on it, and we will revisit it in future learning adventures and discuss it more. I'm so looking forward to seeing you in the next learning adventure where we will peel the onion even more so you can apply the latest learning and marketing science to your brands and sales efforts right now.
Simplistic. I mean, really it is. It's very simplistic. There's not There's not a lot of hoorah. There's not a lot of anything to it. It's plain pure and simple going to help you to understand this is learning. This is the new way to learn. Hey folks, I got a new QR code for my card. And that one is not it. This one is it. I've got a new cartoon of myself. I did myself in a Picasso illustration. So now we got it. Trying to go back to go to the new green color. So here's the funny thing. Wife and I, we buy ourselves, we get our first purchase, as I just mentioned. Our car decided that it didn't want to play no more. And so it went on ahead and quit on us when I was traveling with my family. And so we go get us a truck. This truck, the color of the old colors that we had for the company. I mean, almost the identical color for the old colors we had for the company. So just kind of cracked me up. Beautiful, beautiful truck. When you don't lock the damn keys in it. Really? So, but they want $280 for another key. That's right. That's right. I just went there. I just went into the old man phase. They want $280 for a new key. I am an old man. I'm allowed to be an old man. Sound like an old man. Our discussion today is definitely going to come across in different ways. We hope that you find value in it. We hope that you find questions in it. I definitely hope you find conversation in it to where we can talk about this, because these are a couple ways that they are starting to go with non-traditional medical or medicated therapies. And we're going to be, after I play this video, which talks about 4 different therapies in itself. 2 of the therapies are in this video. But, when we get back, we're going to talk about 3 specific videos. We're going to talk about hallucinogenics, mushrooms, psilocybin. We're also going to be talking about ketamine, and one that I had never heard of until today, virtual reality, which I think is just interesting. And I've got a lot of questions, and I hope maybe you can answer them. And I definitely, I'm going to say, you know what? If you have anything to say on any of these, pick up your little typewriter and ask me a question. I want to know if you've been through any of these. I'd like to have some answers. I'd like to see what you have to say. Right now, look, what you got, okay? Here's a couple of the treatments that we've come into. What are you doing to help our heroes? Why do I ask? Because we want to tell people about what you are doing. With a mission for healthy heroes, our goal is to talk alternatives, talk personal preference, talk about success. What works for you isn't always going to work for others. We ask you to join us if any of these sound familiar. Do you run activity programs? Activities like art therapy, music therapy, animal assisted therapy, outdoor adventure programs, sports and fitness programs, gardening and horticulture programs. These programs have been proven to reduce stress and anxiety, boost mood and increase serotonin levels, improve social skills and reduce feelings of isolation, while enhancing self-esteem and creativity. They also provide a healthy outlet for emotional expression. What about a structured or heavily regimented program? These programs are designed to provide clear framework and routines that help individuals develop skills and stability in their mental health journey. Cognitive behavioral therapy, residential treatment programs, support groups with scheduled meetings, vocational training, and rehabilitation programs, or day treatment programs with partial hospitalization programs. Encourage accountability and regular participation. Help individuals establish daily routines for stability. They provide peer support and they reduce isolation. They also build life skills for long-term recovery while focusing on measurable progress. This next one comes with its fair share of controversy. Safe, controlled psychedelic treatments. These treatments use psychedelic substances in a controlled environment under medical supervision to address mental health challenges. Psilocybin therapy, MDMA, ketamine therapy, LSD microdosing programs, in therapeutic or ceremonial settings. The benefits are vast, including allowing patients to process deep-seated trauma. It improves emotional insight and understanding. It reduces symptoms of anxiety, depression, and PTSD. And it also promotes feelings of connection and empathy, while catalyzing long-lasting behavior and emotional change. Our final example for this video is mindfulness retreat programs. Mindfulness retreat focus on deep relaxation, meditation, and self-awareness, often in serene and natural settings. Silent meditation retreats, mindful movement retreats, nature-based mindfulness retreats, healing wellness retreats, and mindfulness for trauma programs. They enhance self-awareness and emotional regulation. They reduce stress and improve focus. They boost resilience against depression and anxiety, promote physical relaxation and mental clarity, and encourage spiritual growth and inner peace. Is there something missing from this list? Tell us about your program and all the good that you're doing, working to support our heroes and their battles with mental health difficulties. If you scan the QR code below, it allows us to discuss how working together will help so many. Please join us on February 22nd for Mission for Healthy Heroes. Healthier tomorrows for our heroes today. Okay, one of the things that I want to get across right now, one of the things I want to say right off the bat, one of the things that I need people to understand, I am not promoting any of these. I don't know enough about them to promote them. Okay, I do know a little bit about medical marijuana. Okay, for my migraines, for a while, I was taking the gummies. I am not a smoker. I quit smoking. Oh my God, I missed my anniversary. Damn, I missed my 18th anniversary. 18 years ago, I quit smoking. So I don't smoke anything. Partly because I was smoking 3 packs a day when I did that. But yeah, so I don't smoke anything. So I was taking the THC gummies. And while they made my headaches feel so much better, I just couldn't function. I'd want to sleep the entire next day. And it didn't matter if it was sativa or indica, whatever. I could not function. Do I think it's a do I think it I absolutely believe that it works for me. But again, if I'm going to try to get up the next day and I'm going to try to function, it just is not viable for me. So I'm not going to do it. I do not know anything about any of these other programs. All I want to do, all I went out to do today was try to find some information on them. What are they? What are people saying that are good? What are people saying that are bad? What are people saying that, do we really want to cross this road? Unlike a lot of things right now, I want to see both sides of the story. Okay. I want to make sure that we are trying to get to both sides of the story. If you want to tell us your side of the story, I need you to use this QR code in the corner. Okay. This right here is the code to get onto the 22-hour program. This right here, this QR code is going to allow you to sponsor what we're doing. And folks, we need your sponsorships now. Please, please, please. We today got a yoga membership donated by one of our wonderful partners, Anissa. Thank you. That is so cool. I'm really looking forward to talking to her. I believe I talk to her tomorrow, learning more about it. And I will let everybody know. I will create a special video just for that. So got books from Sean the Rev Whittington. We've also got 3 For My cards, which if you want to see what a For My card is, scan that. They're awesome. I love them. But we've got 3 one-year memberships to For My cards that people can take and really up their business. Look, this is the 4th annual Mission for Healthy Heroes that we're talking about. It's coming up next Saturday, February 22nd. Start time is 4 a.m. East, 2 a.m. Mountain Time. 2 a.m. Mountain Time. Ironically, that's what time I started working today. Not because I was trying to get ready or anything like that, but it's because I had a dog with a gut issue. Why does it seem like my shows are really dictated by my dogs? I don't know. The end time is going to be 2 a.m. East and midnight here in the mountain area. We are honored to invite you to the 4th annual Mission for Healthy Heroes, a day-long event dedicated to serving those who served us. This year, we are amplifying our mission to tackle the invisible battles our heroes face, including mental health struggles, homelessness, reintegration challenges. Over the past 3 years, we've shared stories of resilience, heartbreak, and hope while supporting organizations that work tirelessly to improve veterans' lives. Now we're taking the mission even further because we are including first responders and other heroes. We need your support to make this happen. We're going to try to raise money for a couple wonderful we're trying to raise money. Yes, I do speak English for a living. We're trying to raise money for veterans, honoring veterans, who you are going to get to see a dedication to my Uncle Barry on next Saturday. We're going to do a dedication live to a man that lost him a little over a week ago, and it still hurts my heart. My heart just all of a sudden started hurting again. But you can you can see what they do. We're also going to be helping a current service person upgrade their house for their daughter who is wheelchair bound. Look, you can get a quarter hour sponsor for $100, a full hour sponsor for $150. You can also get 4 hour sponsorship for $250, or you can be a name co-host for $400. So please help us make this happen. Psychedelic-Assisted Therapy. This is an emerging research with substances like psilocybin. Okay, when used in a control setting, and I will be reading a lot of this. Okay, so please forgive me not looking into the screen. I will be reading a lot of this because I want to make sure that I'm getting it correctly, straight from the information that I found it at. Okay, when used in control settings, it can be effective in treating PTSD. For instance, a retreat organized by the Siren Project provided psilocybin therapy to first responders, resulting in notable improvements in mental health. Similar, a trial at Monash University is exploring MDMA assisted psychotherapy for veterans and first responders with PTSD. Okay, so that's a little bit more on that. Let's see. Some of the facts about psilocybin. Okay, and again, these are what I found. Okay, so I don't quite agree with all of the wording. Look, this says that it's not addictive, but that's just simply not true. Okay? Sugar can be addictive. You can be a workaholic. Anything and everything can be addictive. Okay? So saying it's not, I I'll go so far as to say that maybe it's not high up there in the addictive field. You know, it's not like some of the harder core drugs and stuff like that. Okay, if you want to say that, that's fine. But I am not going to go so far as to say that it's not addictive, because let's be honest here, anything used in it, you can use anything too much and it can become addictive. Psilocybin is a natural occurring compound, and it's found in over 180 species of mushrooms. It does have psychedelic effects. Okay. And these are just facts. These are not positive or negative. These are just facts. It alters perception, mood, and cognition, often inducing visual and auditory hallucinations. Mm. The legal status is it is illegal in most countries, but it's becoming decriminalized or allowed for medical use in some places. Oregon, Colorado, and Australia are three examples of places where it is legal to go and for for personal use to get mushrooms here in Colorado. The therapeutic potential studies show it may help with PTSD, depression, anxiety, and addiction. It's got a neuroplasticity boost, which suggests that psilocybin promotes brain connectivity with neuron growth. I don't know the science on that, but I would love to know why. I'm hoping that we can find somebody who can help us explain this. Minimal risk of addiction. Okay, unlike opioids or stimulants, psilocybin has a low potential for physical dependence. Controlled clinical use is being researched in guided settings with professional supervision. Long-lasting effects, a single session can lead to improvements in mental health that last weeks or months. And there's also potential spiritual benefits. Some users report profound spiritual or mystical experiences. Insert Beatles joke here. Here are some of the falsehoods of psilocybin. It causes brain damage. No evidence supports this. Some studies suggest it may have protective effects, but there's been nothing that says it causes brain damage. It's highly addictive. Psilocybin is not physically addictive, though some may misuse it. I guess that right there is a better way of me getting my point across. Okay, maybe it is not physically addictive, but you can misuse it. And if you misuse it, look, you can misuse Tylenol. Okay, let's be honest here. You can misuse Tylenol. You can drink too much damn soda. I don't know what kind of idiot would do that. It makes you permanently psychotic. Rare cases of prolonged psychosis occur, usually in those with a predisposition to mental illness. It's one of the, you got to take into consideration who you are, what you are. Okay? So it's just a party drug. While some use it recreationally, medical studies focus on controlled therapeutic applications. Everyone has a bad trip. Negative experience vary based on dosage, settings, and individual psychology. Look, if you are in a position where, and I have witnessed, personally witnessed an individual who had a bad trip on mushrooms. And no, it wasn't, this had nothing to do with therapy. Okay, this was all recreational. And he tried to tear his shower apart because the water on the wall made him feel like his shower was melting. So there are risks, and that's the reason why you should be supervised when you're doing this. It always causes hallucinations. Lower doses can cause mild perceptual shifts rather than full hallucinations. It's the same as LSD. While both are psychedelics, they have distinct chemical structures and effects. Mushrooms are toxic and can kill you. Some wild mushrooms are deadly, but psilocybin mushrooms are non-toxic in normal dose. Some of the reasons why they've started to use psilocybin. There's a potential for mental health treatment. Studies suggest benefits for depression, PTSD, anxiety, and addiction. Alternative to pharmaceuticals. I think, this is one of them that, look, this is one of them that to me is a winning argument. It is a alternative to pharmaceuticals. It is so much better to put something natural in your body. Let's, without trying to be too vulgar here, but being vulgar, Okay. The worst thing about a mushroom is it grows out of shit. Pharmaceuticals, it's just full of shit. Spiritual and emotional growth. And when that feeling of relaxation, it's in which, again, never in my life have I taken mushrooms. Never. But I know that from talking to people that relaxation can be like, you know, it can be very spiritual. It can be uplifting. Uh, it helps rewire your brain. It can enhance natural plasticity, potentially helping with trauma recovery. Low risk of overdose. Unlike opioids or alcohol, psilocybin toxicity is extremely low. Minimal physical harm, no direct psychological damage when used responsibly. Again, we are talking one more time. We are not suggesting this for you. But what we are talking about is doing this responsibly. We're talking about, getting with a professional, doing this properly, making sure that somebody's there to help you through this. Okay. We are just giving you what we found. That's all I am doing. I am not saying do it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying kiss a puppy. I'm not saying any of this. I am telling you what I've found. And that's because that's what's important to me. This one's a little hard. End of life anxiety relief. It has been shown to ease existential distress in terminal ill patients. Um, wasn't mushrooms, but my Uncle Barry was a pot smoker. He and my dad sat in my office a couple times, and I'm going to tell you, if you don't believe in contact high, jeez. I remember them sitting in my office one time, and it was right around Thanksgiving. And there was an issue with the Donald Trump. It was in his first. It was in his first campaign, not campaign, his first presidency, and they were talking about how there was a problem with the Turkish government, and I was contact high. Okay. And the news report came out that there was something on my phone that came across that Donald Trump had a problem with Turkey. And I couldn't read the story. I just remember sitting there saying, oh my God, what is this guy bitching about Turkey for? I was talking about the bird, the animal, for Thanksgiving. Then I ate one of my gummies and my night was over, okay? My night was done. Dude, done. I was gone. I can see how the end of life, anxiety relief, I can definitely see how that would be attractive to some. Okay. Potential for creativity and problem solving. Absolutely. You let your mind go, you let it see where it goes. Absolutely, I can see that. And microdosing popularity. I've talked to many, many people about microdosing and how it's done wonderful things for them. Some claim small doses improve mood, focus, and productivity without full psychedelic events. Reasons against psilocybin. Legal issues. It's still illegal in many places, leading to risk of fines or imprisonment. Unpredictable effects. Again, if you misuse, you are risking this. You are risking getting in trouble. Okay? You're putting yourself in danger if you don't watch for yourself. Reactions vary widely, and bad trips can be distressing. You remember, some of you, of course, remember that first time that you drank or you smoked a joint or something, and you were like, the first couple, we called them oh my god drinks. You would sit there and you would drink and drink and drink, didn't think anything was going until you stood up, and then oh my god, and you were done. So it's kind of one of the things that they're talking about here. Lack of FDA approval for general use. Like them or not, the FDA does do a lot of work trying to work through some of the things that happen. Are they always right? Hell no, they're not. Are they always wrong? Hell no, they're not. But FDA is not going to touch this stuff. First off, psilocybin is federally illegal. We can smoke pot if we want here in Colorado, but if we get stopped by a federal officer, it's a crime, even here in Colorado. Okay, when I was a CDL driver, if I got caught with marijuana in my system, it was a crime, because it was a federal driver's license. So that's another thing. You really got to, you got to pay attention to your surroundings and what you're doing so you don't get yourself in trouble. Hello, dog who's sniffing my elbow for some reason. Potential for dangerous behavior. Look at that doofy looking guy. Yeah, he saw the doofy looking guy and he got out of here. Potential for dangerous behavior. Impaired judgment during a trip can lead to risky actions. Again, if we wouldn't have been there for my friend that night, who knows how far he would have went. He could have tore down that wall. He could have found himself in a lot of trouble. And it's not safe for everyone. Okay? That's kind of the purpose of why we're doing this. This is not for everyone. And again, I am not telling you to do this. I would not dare tell you to do this. I don't know anything about it. I've never done it. I would not do this. I would not do this. Okay? I just wouldn't. Medical marijuana, I have done. I would do it again. Psilocybin, that's not my bag. I'm not going to do it. Not me. Lack of regulation. Illegal sources can be impure, misidentified. And you could run the risk of poisoning from other fungi. How many times are we hearing right now about something being laced with terrible fentanyl, and that's what's causing a lot of these deaths? Personally, and this is a personal opinion, take it or leave it however you want. Personally, I think that was one of the more responsible things the government did by allowing marijuana to become legalized, because they can watch where it's being grown. They can make sure that it's not being laced and stuff like, you know, it's not, it can be watched. You don't run into so much problems with this. Still, okay, ethical and religious concerns. Obviously, again, know yourself, know your surroundings. If you're going to try this, look, if mom's never going to talk to you again because you went and got stoned because you weren't feeling good and you wanted to try something new, no, that's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. I'm joking, mother. I'm joking. Some groups oppose its use due to cultural or moral beliefs. Short-term side effects can include nausea, dizziness, increased heart rate, and confusion. And this is a great one right here. It's not a guaranteed cure. And I would go so far as to say that if you're doing it improperly, it's not going to be a cure. Okay, if you're not performing the regimen correctly, you could end up compounding the problems here. While promising, it does not work for everyone and should not replace professional therapy entirely. The conclusion: psilocybin presents exciting possibilities. Exciting, yeah, for mental health treatment, but it comes with risks and legal hurdles. While researching is promising, further studies and regulations are needed before it becomes widely accepted in mainstream medicine. Here's my question to you. Please reach out to me and give me your opinion. Go in the chat. Tell me what you think here. Okay? Here's my question to you. Should we look further? Should we insist that people look further into studies like these of programs like psilocybin? Is that something that we as American citizens should say, hey, you know what? Maybe instead of throwing all these chemicals at people, maybe we should try something a little more natural. Can we do some more studies with this just to see where it goes? What is your opinion on that? I really, really would like to know. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, tell people what we're doing here. Okay, we need your help. We desperately, desperately need your help. Next, we're going to talk about in which, you know what, we're probably not going to get to the virtual reality. I will do a special program probably for Monday on the virtual reality. I want to do some more studying on that anyway, but so I'm going to get to the virtual reality on Monday. This has run a little bit longer. This is fascinating stuff. By the way, if you would like a copy of these papers, email me, Zach, Z-A-K, at communitypayitforward.us, Z-A-K. Wow, I'm Zach Clayton. Interesting. Z-A-K at communitypayitforward.us. And I will copy these off and I'll send them to you so you can take a look at them. Ketamine Assisted Psychotherapy, or KAP. This combines the use of ketamine, a dissociative anesthetic, with psychotherapy to treat mental health conditions like depression, PTSD, and anxiety disorders. Facts, and I'm just going to go as KAP from this point on. So KAP is Ketamine Assisted Psychotherapy. Okay, so I'm just going to use KAP. Please bear with me. Facts about KAP. It is FDA approved for depression. It's and of course the first thing that they do is they give me a medication name. Why can't you people who name medications just call them Bob, Ralph, Mary, Potts Mary Jane? Can we stick to that? Why are you doing esketamine? Spravato is an FDA approved nasal spray for treatment to resist depression. It's fast acting. Unlike traditional antidepressants, ketamine can relieve symptoms within hours to days. Disassociated experience. Patients often report out of body sensations, altered perceptions, and emotional breakthroughs. Again, these are facts. These are not benefits. These are not glorifications. These are just facts about KAP. Works on NMDA receptors, unlike SSRIs, and I wish I knew what that was. Ketamine acts on the receptors and increase glutamine levels, adding neuroplasticity. Like a monkey in a football. Can reduce suicidal ideation. Studies show ketamine significantly reduces suicidal thoughts, sometimes after a single dose. Requires controlled administration. And typically given through IV, intramuscular injection, nasal spray, or lozenges in clinical settings. It's used off-label, while S-ketamine is FDA approved. Many ketamine treatments are prescribed off-label for PTSD, OCD, and anxiety. Temporary effects. The antidepressant effects often fade within weeks, requiring ongoing treatments. That, again, these are just facts. That right there could be something that I would see people maybe having an issue with. Minimal addiction risk in clinical settings. They're very specific on that. Minimal addiction risk in clinical settings. When used medically, ketamine has a low addiction potential compared with recreational use. And the research is still ongoing. Studies continue exploring long-term effects with optimal treatment protocols. Common falsehoods about KAP. Ketamine is just a party drug. You heard this one before. It does have recreational use, but if carefully dosed and monitored, it can be very, very effective. It works for everyone. That just simply cannot be true. It cures depression permanently. I think this is another reason why I like doing this. Is you're going to have people who are out there saying stuff like this, and it's simply, first off, it's impossible. Nothing lasts forever, works forever. Nothing. Ketamine is highly addictive. We've already talked about that. Patients lose control completely. Disassociation can occur if improperly used, but patients remain conscious and able to interact with their therapists. It's the same as psychedelic therapy. This is a falsehood. While both induce altered states, ketamine works differently than psilocybin or LSD. Only used for severe cases. It's often for treatment of depression. Some patients with milder conditions may benefit. And KAP replaces talk therapy? No, 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 no. What are some of the reasons for KAP? And we've only got about 9 minutes left, so I'm going to try to hurry through this. Rapid relief for depression or suicidal thoughts. They've already mentioned they're having great success with suicidal thoughts. Neuroplasticity and brain healing. It does enhance neural connections, helping with trauma processing. Effective for treatment resilient conditions, which means it helps those who haven't responded to other medications. Enhances psychotherapy. Patients may access emotions or memories more easily under ketamine's effects. Makes sense. Minimal long-term side effects compared to traditional antidepressants. Side effects like weight gain and sexual dysfunction are rare. Could help PTSD and anxiety disorders. Some studies suggest benefits beyond depression. Fewer doses needed over time. That's good. Once again, we did talk about it a couple of minutes ago that, you know what, it may not work the best at first, so it may need extra. I think hearing that it may work and fewer doses needed, I think that's positive. Potentially safer than some of the other psychiatric medications, meaning lower overdose risk than opioids and than opioids. What are some of the reasons against KAP? Short-term side effects. Dizziness, nausea, disassociation, increased blood pressure, ding, 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 and confusion can occur. Again, if you're going to do this, do it properly. Not a standalone treatment. Most effective when combined with therapy requiring additional effort and cost. Long-term effects are unclear. More research is needed for prolonged ketamine use. Costs and accessibility. Not always covered by insurance, making it expensive for many patients. I think that's probably one of the reasons why, guess what? You go into the dark places where you don't want to go, places you wouldn't send your children. Risk of abuse and misuse in non-clinical settings. And let's be honest here, it's going to have an effect that some are going to find very, very attractive. So it's probably going to lead to, you wanting more. Limited availability. Not all clinics offer KAP, restricting access for some patients and potentially a potential for memory or cognitive effects. Some concerns exist about repeated use impairing memory or executive function. Okay, so those are just the first two. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get to virtual reality today. I will get to it on a special edition on Monday, but I think that was very interesting personally. I really enjoy that. Hey, you know what? Before we go, I need to do this. We need your support. We desperately need your support. We're trying to grow. We're trying to get better. We're trying to help more people. For this, we need to start making a little bit of money. You can become a supporter. You can support us by scanning this code right here, and you can become a sponsor for what we're doing. We need to get a vehicle for donations. We need to get volunteers. We need to get employees. We need to get smart people who know what they're doing, because, the one guy who thinks he's three guys who can barely be half a guy, he needs help sometimes. So please help us out. Scan this QR code and you can really make a huge difference for what we're trying to accomplish. Imagine a world where small acts of kindness create a ripple effect of support. A world where financial struggles never stand in the way of hope. That's the vision behind Community Pay It Forward. After a life-changing motorcycle accident, I saw firsthand the devastating impact unexpected financial hardships can have on families. That's why I started Community Pay It Forward, to ensure that no one faces these challenges alone. Community Pay It Forward is more than just a single program. Through Community IMpACT and pACT podcasting, people all coming together, we amplify the voices of those making a difference. And with Community Dare to Care, we provide essential goods like clothing, food, and school supplies to those who need it most, to the community, from the community, for the betterment of the community. With Community Pay It Forward, we support families, children, veterans, community projects, no matter where they are. We are not just providing assistance, but hope for a brighter future, not just for people in need, but for businesses that are out there struggling, trying to find a way. We have a plan, but we need your help to reach the next level. We're launching a crowdfunding campaign to raise $500,000. This will allow us to market the Community Pay It Forward program more effectively and to acquire a vehicle for delivering essential goods to families in need in our community, and enhance and strengthen our programs to serve even more people. And as a thank you for your generosity, we're offering special incentives for your contribution. As we tell people all the time, your donation, big or small, will help. It'll create lasting impact on our community. Join us in building a future where generosity and compassion lead the way. Visit our website today, communitypayitforward.us, or scan the QR code above and donate today. Together, we can pay it forward, because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Okay, folks, thank you very much. My name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. Please remember, love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. If you've got spare clothing, and especially right now when it's 4 degrees, get it into the hands of people who need it. Thrift stores don't need it. If you make too much food, get it into the hands of somebody who's hungry. We can make small changes that make everlasting impact. I love you all. I'll see you next week. I'll see you on Monday with the special show about virtual reality therapy.
Show me the way. You wanna hold the heart of Sunset Boulevard. Bring me here, 'cause it's not quite clear to be a part of Sunset Boulevard.